Thank you for joining us for Inspect Without Limits, a webinar brought to you by the Advanced Inspection Services team at Waygate Technologies, a Baker Hughes business. Hello, my name is Keith Wilson, and I'll be your moderator and presenter. Before we begin, we wanted to cover a few housekeeping items. At the bottom of your screen are multiple application engagement tools you can use. All the engagement tools are resizable and movable, so feel free to move them around the most out of your desktop space. You can make a request to book a meeting directly from your console. Just click on the appropriate engagement tool and add your information. The slide area can be maximized to full screen by clicking on the arrows in the top right corner. If you have any questions during the webinar, you can submit them through an Ask a Question engagement tool at any time. We will try to answer these during our Q&A session, but if a fuller answer is needed, or if we run out of time, it will be answered later via email. Please note we do capture all questions and will follow up with each one. We would also like to ask you to take a few minutes to complete our survey. This will help us bring more topics and improve on future webinars. A copy of today's slide deck and additional help materials are available in the Related Content Engagement tool. We encourage you to download any resources or links that you may find useful. Today's webinar will be presented in two parts. I will present the first half, and my colleague Jim Disser will be presenting the second. We are going to begin today's webinar with a short video. I hope that you find it helpful and informative.
Every moment of downtime is another without profits. You need to move fast in everything you do. You need to inspect without limits, to speed, to accuracy, scale, and expertise. You need advanced inspection services from Waygate Technologies. With AIS, you never have to worry about not having the right tools or resources for your inspections again, even the most difficult ones. So now, if you need remote visual tools to inspect assets throughout your facilities, loose parts retrieval, dry steam cleaning, or quaternary annulus cleaning, we're here. If you're looking for superior analytics to not just detect corrosion under pipe supports and tanks, but to quantify results with better data, we're here. And if you need industrial robotic solutions to improve safety, productivity, and in-depth data analysis on areas you couldn't see before, if you need to precisely locate, navigate, and analyze asset and inspection data, or you don't even know what you need yet, we are here. We understand that critical challenges require specialized solutions and domain expertise, and provide the technologies and programs to help prevent equipment failure, to reduce risk, increase uptime, and reach any goals you might have, just like members of your own team would. We are always ready to help solve your toughest challenges, whatever they might be, with as many qualified and certified NDT inspectors or engineers as you need, here for you whenever you need us. Because we understand that when there's no time to waste, when things just need to get done and get done fast, you need to inspect without limits.
Agenda for today. Who is Waygate Technologies? Rotating equipment and core remote visual inspection services, high order mode cluster or HOMC technology corrosion inspection solutions, vessel and at-height inspections with robotics. Baker Hughes is an energy technology company that provides solutions for energy and industrial customers worldwide. With operations in over 120 countries and more than 58,000 employees, we design, manufacture, and deliver leading technology solutions for our customers. Powered by the industry's only full-stream technology portfolio and enabled by our people and scale, we drive productivity and improve outcomes for ourselves and our customers. From the very first rotary drill bit to the world's most expensive portfolio of compressors and gas turbines, and from our digital solutions that predict outcomes to modular deepwater technology, for more than a century, our inventions have been revolutionizing the industry. We are reducing the carbon intensity of our operations, applying proven low-carbon technology to help our customers meet their environmental goals, and innovating for the future of energy. At Baker Hughes, we are taking energy forward, making it safer, cleaner, and more efficient for people and the planet. Delivering market-leading solutions across the energy value chain through oilfield services, oilfield equipment, turbomachinery and process solutions, and digital solutions. The digital solutions portfolio consists of companies such as Waygate Technologies, Nexus Controls, Bentley Nevada, Druck, Panametrics, Rotor Stokes, Process and Pipeline Services, a true horizontal solutions provider in the oil and gas, power, automation, electronics, aerospace, and many other industries. We deliver outcomes through intelligent, connected technologies to sense, monitor, control, and inspect. Waygate Technologies provides health and productivity of critical industry assets through our Advanced Inspection Solutions, or AIS. With over 30 years of field experience, our global team is the best in the world in providing remote visual inspection, loose part retrieval, and robotic services with different multimodal NDT techniques and custom inspection solutions. We are constantly expanding and developing new techniques in order to stay on the leading edge of the industry in order to provide solutions to our customers. Our legacy core services, combined with our AIS services, provide a multitude of applications to solve your problems. There are many ways to perform remote visual inspections, whether that's using a drone, video borescope, hand-tilt zoom cameras, magnetic crawlers, push cameras, or custom-built robots. Waygate Technologies not only has the equipment necessary, but the professional skill set to perform these inspections. Our highly trained team of Level 2 technicians have access to the latest Waygate technology and best-in-class training from the subject matter experts who not only developed this technology, but pioneered it to where it is today. Whether we are inspecting the inside of a pressure vessel, tank, or piping, we have the equipment and experience necessary for the job. Some of the key advantages of remote visual inspection are little to no confined space entry, the fact that robots are multimodal, ultrasonic testing, visual testing, eddy current testing. There's little to no limitation on what can be attached to the devices. Robotics are application driven, and these robots are not just for inspection, but cleaning and repair as well. In addition, many of our technicians are certified to API 510, 570, and 653. Experience the power of high-definition video and 3D measurement in your video borescope inspections. Waygate Technologies and the AIS service team utilize the Mentor Visual IQ video probe. It is an industrial video scope featuring a military-grade portable design for ease of use in any industrial environment. With the Mentor IQ, you get the benefits of HD inspection cameras combined with integrated connectivity options that allow for advanced detection and in-the-moment collaborative decision-making. This versatile video borescope inspection tool offers a wide selection of interchangeable probes and platform configurations to enable thorough visual inspections and improve the probability of detection for high-value industrial assets. Combined with a bright LCD touchscreen display and superior viewing angles, helps detect even the smallest indications. And now, inspecting small spaces is even easier with the new interchangeable small diameter probes, only available through Waygate Technologies. You no longer need to carry a second device to inspect smaller places. All you have to do is switch probes and all of your inspection data will be in one place. All of this adds up to the most versatile, reliable, and comprehensive video scope inspection camera available for your toughest industrial inspection challenges. This is matched with a wide selection of interchangeable probes to deliver reliability across multiple industries. As you can see in these photos taken with the Mentor Visual IQ, The Waygate Technologies AIS team is capable of getting this camera into the tightest of locations and able to provide real data, measure indication links, and label the pictures for accurate reporting. Our IBI team can collect the data needed to help you make critical decisions. Our remote visual inspection equipment not only allows us to perform visual inspections, we also provide retrieval and sampling services. This could be a drop tool inside of a turbine. A loose part might have worked its way somewhere it's not supposed to be. No matter the situation, our team is prepared to help you make sure your equipment is ready for service. An aircraft engine is not somewhere you want to have a loose part. A customer contacted the AIS team, and we learned that while performing a routine inspection, they lost a part inside of the engine. Our team went on site and used our videoscope equipment to locate the foreign object, and then built a retrieval device that allowed the part to be removed without any damage to the aircraft. That brings us to our first poll question. How are you currently addressing corrosion under pipe supports in your facility? Please select all that apply. Visual inspection only with pipe in place, radiographic inspection, electromagnetics or ultrasonic inspection, physically lifting pipe off support for inspection, or other. We'll give about 15 more seconds to make your selection. Thank you. Our latest ultrasonic technology and services are Tank Annular Plate Scanning, or TAPS, and Corrosion Under Pipe Support, also known as CUPS. Both of these techniques utilize high-order mode cluster, or HOMC, ultrasonic sound waves to not only detect metal loss, but to also accurately size indications. Both of these products are exclusive to Waygate Technologies' advanced inspection services. Tank Annular Plate Scanning, or TAPS, is a new concept for the improved inspection of corrosion under the annular plate region in large storage tanks using a medium-range ultrasonic guided wave technique that uses a collection of high-order mode clusters called HOMC. This technique employs the piezoelectric mode of generation of ultrasonic guided waves with appropriate wedges. Ultrasonic guided waves, once generated, will be reflected from the corrosion and other features on the annular plate. Inspections can be carried out from the outside of the tank when the tank is in service. Some of the benefits are lower cost of inspections, immediate indication and data stored for remote analysis, inspection completed while the tank is in service, and will help you plan your downtimes by scanning the critical zone of your tank before your outage. In this slide, you can see how small and portable our TAP scanner is. The magnetic crawler wheels are attached to the shell of the tank with the HOMC probe sitting on the chime. The scanner is battery operated and is driven around the circumference of the tank. Once the data is collected and analyzed, a report is provided with all of the findings. Moving from tanks to piping, CUPS, or corrosion under pipe supports, uses short-range ultrasonic guided wave technique similar to TAPS. The primary purpose of CUPS is to detect touchpoint corrosion. Corrosion below the pipeline support is one of the most significant causes of failure of above-ground pipelines. For all pipe supports, the connection between the pipe and support must be regularly inspected for corrosion. This is a reliable online inspection tool with both axial and circumferential HOMC data. This is an automated scanning system for the reliable detection of corrosion under pipe support. All of our equipment is powered by USB and is robust, developed for field use, tested, and validated. This is a service offering only from Waygate Technologies' Advanced Inspection Services. Some of the advantages of CUPS is that it is available for the most common pipe diameters and wall thickness. It's a very fast inspection, and it allows for inspection, comparison, and monitoring. It has precise and reliable data for further analysis and assessment methods. It is cost-effective, and there are no additional costs for modifying your pipeline to perform these. Oftentimes, visual inspection is the only method that is being utilized for detection at pipe supports. Unfortunately, the corrosion below the pipe support is the real hidden threat. The relationship between visible corrosion and actual corrosion is unreliable and very difficult to interpret. Access to the bottom of the pipe is not possible, so visual inspection is not feasible. To get to these locations for visual inspection would require lifting of the pipeline off of the support to expose the bottom of the pipe. This method is very costly, it's time-consuming, and you increase the risk of damage from additional mechanical stress on the pipeline by lifting it. And as well, the pipeline must be drained. Waygate Technologies' advanced inspection team can perform these inspections utilizing our CUPS technology without lifting the pipe and requires little to no surface preparation, with the exception of insulated piping or piping that contains a special coating. We hope you've enjoyed the first half of our webinar. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Mr. Jim Disser, to talk about our robotics.
Next, we'll take a look at our robotics lineup. But first, I'll have another poll question. How would you characterize your organization's interest in using robotics for inspections? In the early stages, just beginning to look around? Occasional, looking to expand the use? Regular use, we either own our own gear or contract for robotic inspection, or a power user of robotics for inspections. The Waygate AIS teams make extensive use of robotics for their industrial customers for vessel and boiler inspections. Why? Because when we look at the industrial inspection landscape today, it's pretty clear that robotics affords many significant opportunities to improve safety, to automate inspection tasks, and provide more repeatable, reliable data collection and reporting. Confined space and working at height are dangerous activities. So, wherever possible, we replace this with this. Our inspectors, using advanced magnetic crawler robots like the bike and the brick, equipped with our unique 3D localization system, can create inspection paths and routines that are savable and repeatable. In today's inspection world, data, for the most part, is still collected manually during turnarounds by people. The data quality is dependent on highly variable factors: operator experience, operator fatigue, operator motivation, and the inspection equipment itself. Very little automation resulting in very little repeatability. Robotics, when combined with a good localization system, can improve on this approach. How do we localize the robots and the data? Using our 3D Loc system, we create a digital twin of the asset as the starting point of a 3D Loc enabled inspection. Using information from the onboard LiDAR, inertial measurement units, and wheel encoders, we're able to track and record the position of the robot throughout the inspection, and more importantly, the XYZ coordinate position of each image or UT measurement capture. On the left, you see that graphical depiction of the captured data. Using 3D Loc with our robots, a complete and visual record of the inspection is created and maintained. All the data can be viewed in Mission Viewer, a graphical record of each capture, showing the location of each capture in the asset. And reports are automatically generated. On the right side, you see an example of the exported mission data, including the XYZ coordinate of all of the captures. This is a screenshot of Mission Viewer, our interactive inspection report. This type of file is the end result of an inspection using 3D Look and is a part of the deliverable our inspection teams would provide at the end of the job. We offer Mission Viewer as a free program, allowing you to safely share missions with other stakeholders. As we run the video clip of Mission Viewer, notice along the bottom timeline, each blue triangle represents an image capture. As the user clicks, the position of the robot and the corresponding image is instantaneously updated. He then activates the image markers that will show the position of each individual capture in the digital twin. And by simply clicking on any of these markers, the system shows the corresponding image and capture information on the screen. And finally, he turns on the path marker, the orange line. This is a visual record of the robot's path to complete the inspection. The bike is our most popular robot. It's highly mobile, lightweight, and capable of being operated by a single inspector. It has very powerful magnetic wheels to crawl across floors, up walls, and go completely inverted. It's able to transition 90-degree corners, both concave and convex. It's a tethered robot with distance capabilities of up to 200 meters. What we're looking at here is a typical bike configuration with the 3D localization LiDAR unit and the TZ1 camera mounted on the top, the UT spot thickness module mounted between the two front wheels, and front and rear fisheye navigation cameras. Many different other types of tools and systems can be adapted to work on or with the bike, including our Visual IQ video borescope or other borescopes, push cameras, as well as a wide variety of NDT testing equipment. Here are a few of those other NDT applications where we've used the bike to carry various sensors into a confined space. The remote deployment arm is a U-shaped attachment which can be swung up or down for deployment onto the surface and then moved up and out of the way when not in use. In addition to the applications shown here, we've used the deployment arm for various systems, including floor lights, providing off-axis lighting or shadow creation, UT raster scanning, and eddy current arrays. In the center, we've used the deployment arm for spark testing or glass-lined vessels, checking for discontinuities in the coating, such as pinholing. In the center image, you can see the bike in a glass-lined vessel. The rubber-coated wheels installed to avoid damaging the glass lining. And to compensate for the reduced magnetic adhesion of the rubber wheels, we've also installed some additional magnets between the wheels. The spark tester is the brass brush attached to the arm, and it is shown in a deployed position. At this point, the bike was hanging inverted and had just tested for pinholes around the nozzle seen at top right. And on the right is the Rhino by SecoWave. This is a 3D structured light system that scans the surface, creating a 3D map from which the user can accurately measure surface pitting depth. The software can create surface maps, river bottom profiles, and other reports. The Brick is our largest robot. This robot is designed to clean and inspect boiler tubes and water wall boilers without having to enter the boiler at all. Here you can see some of the key elements, which include the swivelable magnetic roller drives. These are key for the ability of the robot to do the 90-degree floor-to-wall transitions you can see in the later video. Each roller drive has a payload of approximately 50 kilograms, giving the robot a total payload of about 200 kilograms, including its own weight. So it also has a safe additional payload of up to 30 kilograms. On board are a total of 4 cameras. The TZ1 HD inspection camera, which is the same camera that sits on the bike robot, 2 fisheye nav cams, both front and rear, and a probe camera. This is to monitor the placement and operation of the UT probe. Between the front rollers is the high-pressure water jet cleaning unit. This operates to clean the tubes with a pressure of 7,250 psi. This robot is also equipped with 3D localization and the UT probe module for wall thickness measurements. The brick is a part of our overall advanced inspection services offering. We are currently performing many jobs in Europe and will be going live in North America in late Q4 of this year. The main application for brick is, of course, boiler tube cleaning and inspection. However, given that it's an extremely capable platform with capabilities that include the cleaning, the high-pressure water jet cleaning, as well as the HD video cameras and UT thickness testing, and as I mentioned earlier, it has additional payload capacity of approximately 60 pounds. So as long as there is a sufficient sized opening in an asset to accept a brick, we could potentially do any number of inspections with this unit. Next, we're going to take a look at the brick in action. This video is one of our recent deployments on a chemical plant water wall boiler. When you compare the brick to conventional approaches, it's very understandable that companies like BASF, for one, has chosen to use it. They've been able to reduce the average inspection time by 30% or more. Cost is comparable to a conventional approach for cleaning and inspection. The safety aspect is really no contest. The brick wins. There's no vessel entry, no working at height, and no need to handle a high-pressure water jet. And data, of course, is also a big winner. This approach provides a consistent, repeatable data, both visual and UT, with geotag locations, and as I showed earlier, it's easily viewable in the Mission Viewer interactive graphical report. Deploying a robot isn't necessary or practical, but a visual inspection is still needed. Our advanced inspection services teams will use the PTZ HD30. This is a high-definition pan-tilt zoom inspection camera. It's used widely for vessels or elevated target inspections. It can be inserted through a manway or a nozzle, any opening with a 6-inch minimum diameter. It can go in vertically or horizontally and is supplied with a standard tripod, or we also have available, as shown in the upper right, a swivel ball tripod. This tripod gives the operator a large variety of positioning options. You can slide it in or out to the desired depth, and you can swivel it to get the camera head closer to a wall or other target inside the asset. For example, this can get us into stainless steel or other non-magnetic vessels where our magnetic crawler robots can't go. This camera has full HD resolution at 1080p with a 30x optical zoom, 4 very bright LEDs, and parallel laser lines for performing comparison measurements. The very unique thing about our PTZ system is that it can also use the 3D localization system that I explained earlier that is used with our crawler robots. We use the same digital twin approach that I discussed earlier. As a matter of fact, we can use the exact same digital twin model. But instead of LiDAR and IMUs, we use a telescoping pole with an encoded bracket, which gives us the depth of insertion into the vessel. As the inspector adjusts the pan, tilt, and zoom, this information is fed into the 3D Loc software. And the result is that when an image is saved, we know the exact location of the area captured by its X, Y, and Z coordinates. For example, the gray area square shown in the image. And we can return to that location at any point during a future inspection. Similar to the video I showed earlier, here's a mission viewer screen capture, but this time it is from a PTZ camera mission, not a robot mission. Once again, the blue diamonds and the deltas on the timeline represent each individual capture location. Once a digital twin is created, it can be used with any of our 3D Loc enabled systems, whether that would be a PTZ camera or a bike or a brick robot. The primary application for a PTZ camera would, of course, be a pressure vessel or tank inspection, but as it is a very versatile tool, there are any number of applications and places that we've used our PTZ, and here's a few examples. Now, let's take another poll question. Relative to pressure vessel inspections, what is the primary driver for your interest in using robotics? Safety, confined space entry reduction, better inspection results, repeatability and/or data quality, reducing overall inspection duration. Again, we'll give it another 10 or 15 seconds to complete the survey. All right, thanks again for your participation. As discussed earlier, most all of the leading companies are, of course, interested in improving safety, in automation of inspection processes, and in more reliable, repeatable data. But every company I have ever heard of, including Waygate Inspection Technologies, needs to also closely watch the bottom line. This brings us to another important reason that they are looking more and more at robotics for inspections. How about because robotics can save you time and money? First of all, please understand, this is not something we at Waygate made up or collected this data ourselves. This data comes from a study done by Gasco, a major Norwegian gas pipeline company, and the Norwegian Society of Graduate Technical and Scientific Professionals, also known as TECNA. Now, please take a look at this slide. This study looked at a pressure vessel inspection and compared inspection time of a human versus a magnetic crawler robot. At first glance, you're probably thinking, Jim has lost his marbles. It shows that a human inspector is 4 times as fast as a robot. But wait, these red blocks are only showing the time between the actual vessel entry by the inspector or the robot and the time the inspector or the robot exits the vessel. As we all know, there are many, many pre- and post-inspection activities that contribute to the total time involved in performing a confined space vessel inspection. So when it comes to performing confined space entries You at your site may have some slightly different activities in your procedure than the ones that I've got listed here. And you may also not agree 100% with the number of hours involved on a given activity. But if you take a hard look at the total time spent on pre and post entry activities, as well as the inspection time itself, it becomes pretty clear that robotics can provide significant time savings over a conventional confined space entry-based approach to vessel inspections. And of course, as the old saying goes, time is money.
Thanks, Jim. I wanted to just come back and talk briefly about what an advanced inspection services team looks like. Your supervisor or project manager will work with the client directly. This person creates estimates and proposals and ensures that the team is ready to go. On the day of the inspection, the crew will consist of one or more operators and one or more NDT Level 2s. All of our technicians are certified at a minimum in Level 2 visual testing in accordance with AS&T TC1A. Additionally, if any other certifications are required, such as ultrasonics or eddy current testing, then the technicians will be qualified and certified in those methods as well. The tools that we bring to site could consist of any of the items you've seen in this webinar. Our state-of-the-art applications laboratory, located in Skaneateles, New York, is equipped to deal with different problems in customer-specific application. This team uses innovative solutions and previous experience to develop techniques to inspect what has never been inspected before. Whether it's developing a new scanner to meet a client's needs or attaching a camera to a robot, they are prepared to support our customers at a moment's notice. Waygate Technologies continues to develop and deploy robotic platforms that are smart, safe, and adaptable. We are constantly developing different advanced inspection sensors to deploy with our robotic services. Limited to mostly the lack of imagination, robotic inspection tools can also provide inspection data not previously gathered due to limited access, safety concerns, or simply lack of proper technologies. At Waygate Technologies, we inspect without limits.
Thank you, Keith and Jim, for this great presentation. We will now move into our question and answer session. If you have not had time to submit your question, please do so through your Ask a Question engagement tool on your console. If you're unable to stay with us throughout the question and answer session, we would ask that you please take a moment to fill out our survey. This gives us valuable feedback as we create more webinars for our customers. Okay, guys, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Welcome, everyone, to the live Q&A portion. Again, my name is Keith Wilson, and I wanted to thank everyone who attended today's webinar, and especially those of you who have asked questions. If you've not already asked a question, please go ahead and ask the question at the bottom of your screen, and we'll be sure to get back with you either in the live question and answer session or by email if time doesn't permit. This time, I'd like to introduce Rob Roney and Victor Klein, both from Waygate Technologies, who will be joining us for this portion. Our first question asks, what happens to the robot if power is lost during a job? Will it fall off the wall?
Yeah, Keith, I think I can take this one. The robots are equipped with permanent magnets. That means even if you lose power, nothing happens. The robot will just stay in place until you power it back up.
Great, thanks for that, Victor. The next question, how does the bike or brick know where it is when it's deep inside a vessel?
So this is done with the 3D lock technology. It is basically, I think Jim explained it pretty well during the webinar. It has several data sources, like a LiDAR, like IMUs, like encoder information that it takes and merges, and based on all of that information, we can figure out pretty well where we are on site. What you need to have up front is a 3D model of that asset. So this can be either you already have it, or you can do a 3D laser scan to get it, or you can use our asset builder software to simply model it in a browser.
Thanks, Victor. And another question that we get all the time, probably be a quick answer for you, Victor, but how long is the umbilical on a bike robot?
Well, the standard umbilical that comes off the shelf is 30 meters, 100 feet, for the bike equipped with UT. So inside the umbilical, you have the lines for the coax cables for the UT signal, plus a water line for the couplant. If you only want to do visual, we have 60-meter cables available. And if you want to go longer, we also have glass fiber cables available up to 200 meters.
Okay, great. Thanks again, Victor. Our next question for you, Rob, is what are your limitations for retrievals?
Yeah, so I don't know if there is limitations. We've become experts in retrievals and have pulled a lot of different gadgets out of our hat. Sometimes we have to come up with different ideas and different ways to retrieve things. Sometimes we have to build specific tools, but we have a very large toolbox of retrieval tools that our team has become very adept at using to pull out different objects, whether it's something out of a turbine, something that's been left in a pipe. We've pulled bicycles out of drain lines or inlet lines. I would say if you have a retrieval need, reach out to us. And we can definitely help you work through it, whether we have something off the shelf, which is probably the case, or if we need to come up with something different. We have a lot of gadget guys who have come up with some pretty innovative ways to retrieve things that shouldn't be in certain assets. So I'd say reach out, and we can definitely work with you to come up with a solution there.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rob. All right, our next question is how do we get more information on cups, and can we set up a live demonstration or a proof of concept?
Yeah, great question. Cups is definitely a hot topic in the industry today. We think we have a great solution for both detection and sizing of corrosion under pipe supports. We are actively doing a lot of live demonstrations as well as proof of concepts in jobs around the world. So please reach out to myself or to Keith. We can get the ball rolling on anything related to corrosion under pipe supports and getting demonstrations or live demos for you. So great question, and we'd be pleased to get the ball rolling on that. We think we have a great offering in that space.
Okay, great. Thanks, Rob. Our next question asks, when will the brick service be available in North America?
I think I can take this one. The brick service is currently being rolled out in Europe. We are shipping the first systems end of this quarter to North America. The training of the field personnel has already been started, so we're confident to start the rollout end of this quarter.
Great, thanks, Victor. Our next question asks, how do you manage couplant with your remote UT applications?
So I take this one, Keith. The bike, as I mentioned before, in its umbilical, it has a couplant line. So, and on the other side, where the operator sits, we have a water pump. So we pump water to the front of the sensor, and it is actually, it really is the tip of the sensor is then being flooded like an immersion type ultrasonic probe. We use water as a couplant. Not sure if that answers the question. I do hope so.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Victor. Our next one probably for Rob. Are you guys present in Malaysia, and are you providing these services in this region?
Yeah, good question, Arif. We do have a presence in Malaysia. We actually have a new leader in Malaysia that just joined us 4 weeks ago. What I would suggest, Arif, is that we reach out to you and we can let you know exactly what services and what tools we have in the Malaysia region, but definitely a region that we're putting some time into and resources to grow out some of these advanced technologies that you've seen today. So we'll reach out to you with our folks in Malaysia, and we'll see what we can do. We can definitely talk about what we're doing in that region. So appreciate the question.
Great, thanks, Rob. Okay, our next question asks, what kind of NDT sensors can the bike carry?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I get that many times. So off the shelf, the bike that we sell, the bike that we rent, that comes with ultrasonic sensor. It's a dual crystal probe that sits in between the front wheel of the bike. So this people use for remote ultrasonic thickness measurement. For the visual portion, it does have a HD inspection camera with 10 times optical zoom. This is what we have available as products for sale and for rent. Then the other portion where we do the services, we can equip the bike with all kinds of sensors. So we did have cases where we have equipped the bike with eddy current array sensors. Jim mentioned briefly the spark testing during the webinar. So the possibilities are endless. And to be honest, I don't really know what our customers use to put on the bike in addition to what we offer. So it's, again, maybe the best answer is to reach out to us with the sensor that you have in mind, and we'll help you integrating it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Victor. We've got a few more questions left. If you've got a question and you'd like to ask it as part of the live Q&A portion, go ahead and get those questions in. We'd like to answer as many as we can, and we've got a few minutes left. So the next question asks, do you have a minimum cleaning requirement to be able to inspect inside a vessel without human entry?
I think I can take this one as well. The minimum cleaning requirement, I would say this is not set by the robot itself. This is really set by what is your inspection requirement. So if you have to do an ultrasonic measurement, the surface should be fairly clean so that your ultrasonic probe really couples to the surface that you want to measure. The same applies for remote visual inspection. If you don't have it cleaned properly, all you will inspect is the dirt on the surface. So it needs to be clean enough to be able to perform the inspection.
Okay, great. Thanks, Victor. We've got one more question that's come in, and it asks, what is your fail-safe feature of the bike and or brick?
That's a very good question. So for the bike, usually we don't attach any safety lines. What we do have in the tether itself is a steel wire. So in case something goes wrong, you still have the option to pull it out. It's going to be quite a brute force, but you do have the option to pull it out. For the brick, we usually will lower safety lines from the top down with fall arresters, attached to fall arresters. In case something happens there, the robot will not fall into the water walls, but it will fall into the fall arrestor, and then we can lower it and kind of rescue it through the mainway.
Great. Thanks for that, Victor. All right, if we don't have any more questions, I just wanted to take this time to thank everyone that attended our webinar, and especially those of you that asked questions. We're really excited about a lot of this technology, and we appreciate you all taking the time to join us today to learn about some of the offerings that we can provide here at Waygate Technologies. Look forward to our next webinar, and like we said, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask them, and we will follow up with an email and reach out to you directly in the very near future. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your day.